Scavenger tanks. Scavenger tanks are tanks that aim to max out the enemy equipment capture ratio rate to steal as much of the enemy's equipment as possible. The design is very simple. You use an armored maintenance company and add as many tank battalions as possible. Then you just use that tank to kill encirclements and to steal large chunks of the enemy's equipment while doing that. 14-4 Infantry. Initially popularized by Tommy K, 14-4 Infantry is a division template with 14 infantry and 4 artillery battalions. This build is long outdated and not viable anymore and became a meme due to a lot of beginners or single player players still doing it due to them seeing outdated guides or YouTube videos. Line artillery is not good in virtually any scenario due to a variety of reasons, including low organization, HP and breakthrough, and due to it using too much combat width. Commando Marines. Commando Marines can be unlocked through the Marine Special Doctrine. The special thing about them is that you can leave any coast tile, not just port tiles like usual. The meme strat revolves around you just naval invading enemy territory, optimally not ports, and then, after landing, you delete their factories and blow up the state supply. This forces the enemy to either use a lot of their IC in coast garrisons, or enables you to sabotage the industry or supply. Chinese Infantry. This strategy is named after the community in which it was popularized, the Chinese HOI4 community. It involves building 2 Commando with infantry and then upgrading it to a much higher width while turning off equipment. This abuses the fact that your organization and strength stays the same. This allows you to roach out in situations such as the Sino-Japanese War. This type of infantry is not gonna do great defending, but it's a lot better than nothing and allows you to force the enemy to brutally push high attrition tiles like marshes with little to no investment from your side. Port strats. This meme strat abuses the incompetence of HOI4 AI. The idea is that you capture all the tiles around an enemy port, but don't take it. Once you click the units in the tile, they all die. Due to how the HOI4 AI works, they will continuously move more and more troops into the port, allowing you to kill a lot of divisions with barely any effort. Paratrooper capitulation. An easy way to capitulate any AI country, especially those with a pretty low surrender limit like France, is to build paratroopers and drop them onto all of the biggest victory points at once. Bonus points if you aid your paratroopers to force a defensive battle. Sift greed. Building Sifts for way too long to get impressive industry numbers without the equivalent amount of output is another meme build. Usually, the time to start building mills is somewhere in between 1936 and late 1937. Some people push Sift greeding to the limits, with one prominent example being the famous Finland files, in which Dankus Sift-greeded as Finland, resulting in him having just 4 divisions to war start. As of the time I am making this video, we are still eagerly waiting for the Finland files to be released. Scout plane CAS. You can get the ground attack modifier that CAS gives even under red air by building scout planes. This can, for example, help you to temporarily get 30% extra stats on D-Day as Germany. The obvious problem is that they will get massacred under red air, but if you time their use correctly, for example to push out D-Day right after it landed, it can be worth it. Militia spam. This one isn't just a meme build, but probably also the meta build for a lot of countries. All you have to do is to be communist, take the land doctrine People's Militia, and then spam out as many militia units as possible. Due to their high initiative and therefore also reinforce rate, your enemy basically always has to push out every single militia on a tile before being able to take it. This makes this strategy incredibly overpowered for just defending while playing a country like Russia. Super heavy tank build. Super heavy tanks are also actually not that bad. You can unlock them by research, or alternatively you can go for the special project land cruisers, which function pretty similarly to super heavy tanks and basically fulfill the same role. The main issue with this build is that the extreme terrain penalties induced by these types of tanks is too high for most offensive units, but on defensive units they work incredibly well. The most important stat here is obviously the armor, since not being pierced is a massive benefit. For those that don't remember from my old videos, not being pierced adds 50% extra orc damage while also significantly reducing the own damage taken. Nuke rush. Rushing for nukes can be surprisingly good. It's best done on the US, where you immediately build a physics reactor and try to gain breakthroughs as soon as possible. If you completely hardtech and rush everything, you can get nukes in early 1942. Optimally, you also build a lot of air and strats, and then with nukes you are able to basically dominate the game from the sky completely. You can eradicate any defenses of the enemy and destroy their factories and war support. You can basically destroy anything. You can also, by the way, nuke their airports, destroy their air with that, if you haven't completely established green air yet. I definitely recommend to try this build at least once. I think it's a very fun build, and it can even work in multiplayer. In multiplayer, obviously, you would just do a normal build, but you can do a pretty normal build on the US while also rushing nukes. It doesn't actually cost that much.